Hello and welcome to week 1 of the Let's Play Olympics 2, the confusing return to numbers. Our debut game, Special Cybernetic Attack Team, a rather interesting game by Natsume for the NES. Now you can either play as a dude or a lady. We're going to be playing as a lady because the lady's wearing red, and red is the most stylish color. That's a really good voice sample from 1991. So, Special Cybernetic Attack Team. Kind of like Contra, if Contra were a shmup. Speaking of Contra, we have ourselves a laser weapon. Unlike Contra's, however, this laser weapon can be rapid-fired to holy hell and is quite good. We've got some speed-ups, and a new gun, the wide gun. My favorite gun in the game. It has a large hitbox, and it fires rather fast. Obviously, you expect a gun called the wide gun to be kind of wide. As for that B, that's the bomb weapon. It's my least favorite weapon. Probably the worst weapon in the game out of the 3. Now, I do like to redeem certain weapons. I am a Contra laser defender. So, to its credit, the bomb weapon is a very effective boss killer. Unfortunately for the bomb weapon, it's a very ineffective killer of everything else. That's what makes it fall flat for me. Now, I have made this run a little more interesting. I could, theoretically, just use the wide gun from now on. Its large area of effect, plus fast firing rate, means I can just smite pretty much anything that gets in my way. I could do that for the whole game, but that'd be a little boring, frankly. I want to liven things up. I want to spice it up. I want to put some proverbial ground pepper into this thing. So here's what I'm going to do. We've got 3 weapons, the laser, the wide gun, and the bomb. I'm going to use all of them at least once per stage. I'm not going to pick up every single weapon power-up there is and change, like, every 10 seconds. That'd be a little ludicrous, frankly. But I think that'll make things just a bit more interesting, just to show off what the weapons can do in certain situations, and what they can't do in certain situations. For example, the bomb here. It fires one shot, it moves straight forward, and it blows up, and the explosion radius will damage things. A good boss killer, because the bosses, well, they don't move around that much. The R there will give us health. I don't know what to call it. Health or lives, because, well, it looks like a health bar, and you do have hits, but if it all goes down, you get game over. So either you have a big health bar and 1 life, or several lives. Take your pick. But here we see the bomb's effectiveness. Perfectly demonstrated. It takes a while to take out these turrets on the bottom, but when I shoot at the boss directly, the explosion does a lot of damage and racks up a lot of hits. So, the bomb does have its uses, but for regular stage play, it's not good at all, and I don't like it. Much prefer my wide gun. But this guy is taking that rather fast. That's Area 1 clear. Didn't even take a hit on my life bar / health bar. Hell, even this screen calls it life. Lives or life is in health? I don't know. I'm so confused. Area 2 really does show the shortcomings of the bomb. There's a lot of things coming at me, and I'd like nothing more than to be able to shoot fast. But unfortunately, I can't because of this bomb. And what do you know? The first weapon upgrade in the stage, another bomb. The game knows what it's doing. It knows you don't want the bomb, so it's going to throw it there to trick you, to make things arbitrarily more difficult. Which I really don't need to do. By far the worst enemy in Area 2 are these metal arm things. They do come in 2 flavors. This flavor just moves around and shoots some shots. It's not so bad, but this one lunges at you. Its lunge has an amazingly long reach, like half the screen. If you're anywhere near that thing, you're going to get hit. They pretty much lunge as soon as they get on screen, too, so you'll be moving forward, and all of a sudden, wham! A thing lunges right in front of you and knocks a hit off your life/health bar. Nonsense! I don't like this stage at all. It's my least favorite of the bunch that I've played. But there is one thing about these robot arms, is that sometimes they don't spawn. You gotta love NES spawning limitations on sprites and whatnot. So let's talk a bit about the Let's Play Olympics 2, why don't we? Hosted by Fat Kakashi and Decoy Octopus. It would seem that the dual host idea from my Let's Play Summer Blockbuster, or rather our Let's Play Summer Blockbuster, can't forget to give Heavy Metal Mage credit, because he did a lot of work too. It would seem that that idea has taken off, and we have another dual host competition. I gotta say, you guys have started off with a pretty great game. It's a little underrated. I mean, I've heard of it, but I never really invested much time into it until now. And it is sort of Contra-esque, but it's not the same old run and gun, it's something new, so I commend you for it. If your competition runs this smoothly, we won't have a problem at all, and things will be fun. Here's a great trick. I know there's supposed to be an arm up top there, so I deliberately didn't kill those guys, so the arm wouldn't spawn. I can trick you out, you silly little stage. Take that. This boss is a little obnoxious. It moves from hole to hole in set patterns, and it shoots homing missiles at you. Well, it's not so bad once you realize it only has 4 movement patterns and it cycles between them. So all you have to do is know where it's going to go, and pop at it a little with your gun, and blast away at those missiles. It's making a cute little figure 8 there, it's nice. And now it's going to loop back. But with the wide gun, you're not gonna see too much of it, because he's gonna blow up pretty darn quickly. At least I hope so. There he goes. Area 2 clear. No hit there either. How nice. Well, with that nightmarish stage out of the way, comes something that's a little better, but it still has its moments. Area 3. Starts off pretty straightforward, but then we get to this part, and it's the main gimmick of the stage. Get used to this green background with the weird embryo things in the middle, and these enemies. We've got a nice 8-bit klaxon going. This stage is essentially a giant vertical shaft leading into space. And the background is going a million miles a minute and hurting my eyes. You've got debris that can hurt you, but you can shoot it away. You've got things coming from every side. This level is hectic, but I still like it. A lot of games do this tube to space sort of thing, because that's where this tube leads. It leads to space. Kid Dracula did it. God forgive me, Echo the Dolphin did it. And Special Cybernetic Attack Team did it. They did it before Echo, in fact. Before Kid Dracula, even. Why, they were the first to do it. How about that? Great job, Natsume. You started a trend. Well, Special Cybernetic Attack Team certainly is interesting, but the name's a bit of a mouthful. But it's not called that in Japan. In Japan, it's called Final Mission. It's not called that in Europe, either. It's called Action in New York. Which makes me think it's like a video game adaptation of John Carpenter's Escape from New York. Rad fucking movie, go see that. The Japanese version was made harder, however, by the fact that you have 3 lives to start instead of 6. More to the point, if you get hit, you downgrade. Presumably you downgrade to the piddly little weapon you have at the start. Oh, this is a nasty trick. See all those power-up things? They're bombs. They know you don't want the bomb. Power-ups as an obstacle. Possibly the most devious form of game design I've ever encountered. You don't want these? You don't want these? I'll make sure to put a bunch of them in your way. Yeah, good luck dodging them. There you go. Yeah, you get better at our game. Go on. Go on, you do it. I'm a great game designer. I deserve a Coke. You silly goose. This game also has a striking similarity to the Capcom arcade hit Forgotten Worlds, which is also a game where you control a flying person with option like gun pod blasting at things. Never really played Forgotten Worlds, but I don't care if this game ripped it off because it still manages to be fun. I like Special Cybernetic Attack Team quite a lot. It's become one of my new favorite underrated classic games. You've made a winner, Natsume. You have made a winner. And our hosts have picked a winner. Good eye. Good eye. We're getting kind of near the end of the space tube. You've got a lot of annoying stuff coming at you. Things homing in on you and whatnot. Imagine if you had the bomb. You can only shoot one thing. Really annoying. You'd be hard-pressed not to take a hit there. Regardless, we are slowing down now. That means we've reached space. Music changes from that stupid hectic tune. And we get some lovely pixelated stars. From here on out, the level ain't too bad. It's really just a lead up to the bosses. But, well, we'll get to them. They can be kind of tricky. I mean, not just with a bad weapon. I mean, even with this wide gun, we're gonna have a little bit of trouble. And that's because they shoot a lot of stuff. Like, look at this. Look at that laser spread. It's nuts. Thank goodness we have the wide gun. I'm just gonna poke this guy with my little options. Yeah, about the options, you can lock them in place with the A button, but I ain't gonna do that because I don't need to. Just gonna have them spread back and forth and back and forth. So here's our boss. Very hard to dodge. You've got lasers taking up the center of the screen. You've got very big blue orbs coming at you. It's quite difficult to avoid damage, but once you break that phase, once you blow that up, things get marginally easier. Just weave and hold down the fire button. Your wide shots will take out these things that's shooting at you, and the spread of bullets you can just move up. You can shoot different spreads, but you'll be fine as long as you stay in the middle of the screen. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. With a few minutes to spare, we're going to tackle Area 4. Area 4 is a pretty darn interesting level in its own right. It starts off fairly normal, just like Area 3 did. But before long, it gets to its gimmick. It doesn't play around for too long, it gets to the point. There's a lot of stuff coming at you here, though. Now, I'm not really going to get the laser here, because I do want the wave for what's coming up, and, well, I would have gotten the laser anyway if I had time for a full playthrough of this stage, but we're coming up on the 15-minute mark, and that's where we usually end these Let's Play Olympic competitions. So before we go, let's talk about Area 4 briefly. It's essentially a gigantic boss fight against a big battleship with laser cannons and homing missiles and ships coming at you and all sorts of other devious traps. It's a really, really great level. But the laser's not so good for it. You want the wave because that hitbox you can get under those laser cannons and shoot them. With the laser, that just isn't happening. That's a big laser cannon, though. If you blow it up, you also blow up these homing missile shooters. Wondrous! Simply wondrous. I do not want the bomb, thank you very much. Do not want it. We are just about coming up on time. There's about a couple seconds left. So, LP Olympics 2. Off to a great start, as I've said. I really dug this game. I'm hoping we keep up the momentum and we don't have any faltering points. It remains to be seen what our other competitors think of this here game. We've got some fresh faces. Got some returners. I'm really interested to see what those fresh faces can do. Good luck, you guys. I'm really eager to see what you're capable of. So, this was week 1 of the Let's Play Olympics 2. See you next time.